And welcome everyone to a 2v2v1 today, and it comes from yours truly, and I'm commanding the realm of Angmar, and we'll start with my army. We have some Snaga Stalkers here, some Snaga Archers, Goblin Trackers, Snaga Archers, 2 units of Barrow Wights who are laying lovely in the grass right here, awaiting to be awoken. Behind them, we've got some Witron Pikemen here, not armoured up. 2 units of Guardians and Karandum, armoured up. Witron Pikemen, unarmoured. Witron Hammerguard, unarmoured. Recon Solider Raiders, armoured up. Everyone seems to bring these guys armoured up, and I have to admit, it's probably the way to do it. We have some Witron Blackguard generals in this unit. We have some Trolls of Angmar, Trolls of Gundabad. I love me trolls. And we also have some witches, but I won't tell you where. You'll have to spot them yourself later, so shush. Next we have my ally, Cardalin, commanded by Uranger 0123. He's got some civilians out front. Some Greenway Garrison Spearmen, Greenway Garrison Footmen, some more Greenway Garrison Spearmen, some Wardens of Titan Gothard, some Greenway Garrison Spearmen and Footmen again, Manitoraman Gatekeepers, Minahira Sharpshooters 2 units, some Minahira Men-at-Arms 3 units, some Dunedain Captains, Mercenary Crossbowmen again, and some Tharbad Warhammers. And we come to the player of 1, which is Mirkwood, commanded by Silver Banshee. And he's got some high-paying archers armoured up. I think he's got some Woodland Mob Patrol here and over here. We have some more high-paying archers armoured up. Some Elder Council. 3 more hidden units. Some High Spearmen, all armoured up. Elven King's Palace Guard armoured up. More Spearmen armoured up. Some Spearmen of Emendua. Bows of Emendua. 3 units of them, in fact. Possibly some other units, but we'll have to come back and find out later. And we come to the opposing team of 2 players, the first of which is Imladris, commanded by Aslander. He's got some Elder Emwy Archers, some Archers of Rivendell, 2 units here, as well as 3 hidden units which we can't see. We have some Imladris Sentries, 2 units, some Swords of Rivendell, some Gwaithai Merindane, Elder Emwy Swordmasters, Riders of Bruin, Gwaithai Rochador, and Gwaithai Arthane. Or Arthand. Next we have Erebor, commanded by Amar of TF. So Amar's got some Blacklock Engineers, Ironfoot Crossbows, 2 units. He's got some Ironfoot Spears, 2 units. Ironfoot Warriors, Ironfoot Pikes, more Warriors. Possibly 4 units of Warriors and 3 units of Pikes. We have some Axeguard of Erebor, Sons of Durin, Hammerguard, and Ironfoot Wargoats. And that is it. So we'll get this battle started. Enjoy. Now, Uranger and I were in constant communication the entire battle here, and we were talking about who to face and who not to face, and we decided not to face Mirkwood. We instead maneuvered our armies to try and to face the opposing team of Imladris and Erebor. As you can see, my army is moving, and Uranger's not too far behind. We'll actually do a small cut here and return once the first arrows start firing. Alright guys, we're back. As you can see, my Snaga Archers have started firing on the crossbows. The great thing about the Archers is that they have an advantage of range over the crossbows. Unfortunately, when it comes to Snaga Archers, the damage is pretty bad. So it takes a while to take down the Ironfoot Crossbows. I got my Snaga Stalkers out front, not only to try and draw the fire of the dwarves, but to also act as a shield against cav charges, since I don't have any pikes in front of my archers. I also spot that he's maneuvering his Ironfoot Spears, and I'm trying to get hits on the spears as well as the crossbows at the same time. I'm only firing my Goblin Trackers and my Snaga Archers at this point. I have another unit of Snaga Archers which I'm holding in reserve and trying to save until later. I recognise that I'm not scoring too many hits here, but when it comes to the dwarves, you just need to score hits sorry, not to get too many kills here, but when it comes to getting hits, I'm trying to damage his men when we finally charge in our infantry. The whole point about facing the dwarves is to try and weaken the infantry before you charge in your own. That way it gives your own infantry a better chance of winning over the dwarves. Because trying to fight dwarves toe to toe, if you're not playing the dwarves, most often you will lose, unless you weaken the infantry beforehand, somehow. But we see the crossbows winding up. Your ranger sent up his mini-hero sharpshooters, and I can see that he's actually maneuvering his army around, so I'm actually sending in my own army as well. I'm firing my archers as cover to try and just weaken the dwarves, but since I see that your ranger's going in, I send up my own troops behind him, or at least a couple of my own troops. I'm forming up my army at the back here, keeping most of my units at bay, including my witches. I'm trying to keep them away from the fight until we see a blob of dwarven troops. As you can see, the Ironful Wargoats moved in, and I sent my Snugger Archers to protect his sharpshooters. I'm also trying to get my Scourge Raiders on the flanks of the dwarves so I can fire my axes into them. The Rangers got his crossbowmen over here, and over here. Not much is happening in the background yet. But as you can see, my troops are engaging. And we actually broke the spears. We were a bit surprised we did that. We weren't expecting that. Now the lines are about to engage, so we'll slow it down just briefly so I can give you a quick view of what else is happening. So Anmar is setting up his troops, and Latterus is close behind. We have Mirkwood tailing both of us. I got my Barrow Wights here now. The Barrow Wights were a real pain to use in this battle. They were great as shielding our infantry, but it took a while to get them to go anywhere. And as you can see, I'm keeping my trolls in reserve at the moment. I'm setting up my Hammer Guard. Your ranger's got his trackers, he's getting his Minotaur and Gatekeepers. I'm keeping an eye on the infantry. And I'm throwing my axes into the Axe Guard of Erebor, which is sweet. Now I can see that there's a clunk of the dwarven troops, and I'm just trying to find... I'm moving up my witches right now as we speak. We've got the Wathar Rochador from Aslander, so they're arrived. I probably should slow it down here. As you can see, I'm throwing my axes in point blank. Now, trackers are firing in. I've got my pikemen moving up. Your range is also backing up my own battle line and enforcing it as well. He's got his sharpshooters pouring into the elves. He's got the Blacklock Engineers are firing in over here. They've got some good hits on us. There go my witches. I got some friendly fire there, but for the most part I took out a lot of his dwarves, so I was happy with that. He's got his Swordmasters moving in. I was trying to send my my Barrow Wights against the Blacklock Engineers, but that wasn't going too well. Now I was hoping for more hits here, but I didn't get as many as I would have liked with that. But as you can see, Aslander's onto me. He's targeting my witches down. I'm sending in my trolls to reinforce the battle lines, which have been weakened from the Blacklock Engineer fire. We've got Mirkwood in the background causing some havoc. My Guardians of Karen broke earlier, but they reformed. I've got a couple of witches left. They're almost out of ammo. I only need to get them to fire a bit more. I was happy to get some hits there. We have the Great Marine there from Auslander. He's moving in. So our combined forces are putting a lot of pressure on the Erebor and Lattice. Slow them down just a little bit more, because I just have a view of what Mirkwood's up to. Right now I'm just trying to position my barrel whites in between us and Mirkwood, just to keep Mirkwood at bay a little bit. We've got the Blacklock Engineers still causing problems for us. Now, because I was in this battle, I can tell you that we call a truce here. We kill Amar's general as the truce was called, so you know that wasn't the intention. Apparently the elves were firing on us a little bit as we were withdrawing, but this is where we said, okay, let's call a truce and face Mirkwood, because Mirkwood's bearing down on both of us, on both teams. And we immediately pull our armies away from each other. And the plan is this, at this point in time. So we're in discussion with the other players, and the agreement is Amar and Auslander will approach Mirkwood from the east, and Uranger and I will approach from the west. Essentially try to catch Silver Banshee in a vice. Now our hope here is that we haven't exhausted our armies to the point where we will be crushed. Because as you can see, Mirkwood is firing on us. There's not much we can really do about it. We're trying to pull away. I'm setting up my barrel wires to try and drive them back. But as you can see, it's slow going. And because I can't walk away, I'm just setting my army in the other direction first. And we'll manoeuvre around and approach Mirkwood. But try to keep our troops away from his archers. And as you can see, we're under a lot of fire here. But so far, Uranger and I were pretty happy with our first assault on Lattice and Erebor. We didn't expect it to go so well, but we were happy it did. Yeah, so Ranger's basically telling me at this point, dude, get your troops away from the damn archers, they're cutting you down. I'm saying that, I'm trying, I'm running my pikes now at this point. This is my other unit of sniper archers, which had pretty much full ammunition. And I just brought them up to start shooting back at the enemy at this point, because, you know, shooting back is better than just being shot at. And that was where I just, that's where I land on that at this point in time. Now, what made this so frustrating is that Silver Banshee could see what we were doing, clearly, and decided to run away. And we were just complaining, saying, dude, don't run away. We're just gonna delay the inevitable. Because we're approaching Silver Banshee from either side, you see, so he can't really go to one side without being caught by the other. So as you can see, at this point he's retreating, and not much happens at this point in time, so we'll do a small cut here and we'll come back shortly. Now we were talking about going in, and Auslander, and sorry, Uranger was telling me don't, but I saw an opportunity to take out some archers, because Silver Banshee's archers are so far away from his spears, and I can see the other council. And my theory was, if I can get into him, I can kill him. Because these guys are first and foremost a javelin unit. As you can see, they have their javelins ready. I've spread out my trolls. And I signal my Trolls of Angmar to go forward and try and catch out the other council. And I signal my Trolls of Gundabad to slam into the Woodland Realm Patrol. I wanted to take out the other council because those javelins are a nightmare. So basically I saw an opportunity to take out some archers, and you know, the fewer archers Mirkwood has at this point, the better for us. And since the archer's not being backed up by spears or his elite troops, I figured this is a good time to assault, because trolls are really fast. They're almost like cavalry. So speed's on their side, and I use that speed to my advantage. Now we've got Imladris and Dwarves of Erebor over here. They're dealing with Mirkwood's cav. They're firing into Mirkwood's front line. I'm withdrawing my trolls now because I think I've done enough damage. And I said to your ranger, we can see that Imladris and Erebor are moving in, so we should move in as well. I mean, that was the deal. When they move, we move, so I begin to move my army around and try and face Mirkwood from the other side. As you can see, my troops over there in the distance, maneuvering around, because we don't want to accidentally attack each other. Now, while you might think this is unfair, remember that both our teams have gone hard at it when this battle first started. Both sides have sustained heavy casualties. So now I think it's only fair to beat up on Mirkwood, who had the biggest army. Of course, Mirkwood wasn't too happy about that, but that's just the way the dice fell. Swordmasters have gone in. Mirkwood's just pouring the arrows in. Alcender's taking a lot of damage here. So he's doing well. There wasn't too many Dwarven troops. We pretty much destroyed most of Amar's army here. He's got a few troops left, but as you can see, not too many. He's got a lot of crossbows, which is good. And so in Blackhawk Engineers, he still has ammunition. I didn't notice him before. Whoa! Jeez, that was amazing. We've got Wardens of Aman here. 3 units. I didn't see them before. How he managed to get his Blackhawk Engineers to fire on them, I don't know how he did that. Maybe he can shoot at hidden units. I have never shot at hidden units before. When I've done that, the units were always visible before they were hidden. But usually after the first volley, they stop firing on hidden units because they can't see them anymore. Here come the Wardens of Aman Monk. You can see the battle is very much well engaged here, and my army is moving in. Your Rangers approaching. From this angle on my left, I'm coming in from the right.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Oh, I love the trolls are good to bad. Your Rangers moving in his army now. The Elder Council firing in. And I was maneuvering my troops to go in after Silver Banshee's elite troops back here. He's got his Elders of the Elven King and Elven King's Palace Guard. Sharpshooters are firing into the Elder Council. Mirkwood troops broke. Now Mirkwood's on the back foot here. Our little alliance with Erebor and Imladris has really paid off. At this point, the deal sort of becomes voided because we've accomplished our goal, really. The Ranger maneuvers his army to go and face Invaders while I'm still pursuing Mirkwood. Because Mirkwood's still a threat. Your Ranger's mercenary crossbowmen were being targeted. I wanted the Elders of the Elven King. The high-paying archers here are broken. My troops have arrived. Okay, while my army's engaging, we'll go back over here briefly as this assault gets underway. Notice has formed a piece archer line. Getting some nice kills here on my ally. With the Weather trackers firing on his infantry line. You hear a sharpshooter still out of ammunition. My barrel whites have arrived, so they can help out my ally, which I'm happy with. Now your Rangers army is going to be facing off against the remainers of the other team. Fortunately, Blacklock engineers who still had ammunition were lobbing their shots. But as you can see, the Gwaithei Arthand here are really cutting into the Greenway Garrison's spearmen. They're being backed up by the Ironfoot spears. The Ranger is manoeuvring his sharpshooters around to shoot at the Invaders from the flanks. He's also got 2 units of men-at-arms on the flank as well, trying to surround Invaders. Unfortunately, he's opening himself up there to the Invaders archers as well. That bad Warhammers are taking a beating. Head back over here briefly. He was getting some Silverbands, he was getting some nice shots here on the Elders of the Elven King. I was trying to overwhelm the Elven King's Palace Guard. So I've got all my elite troops here. I still have some Goblin Trackers alive, which is pretty good. Interim Gatekeepers in the background there. Yeah, it looks like the Gatekeepers still have their crossbows out here. So your range is still much a very deadly force to be reckoned with. Now, I sent my Trolls of Angmar to try and help out my ally, because I had enough troops going after Mirkwood. Your Ranger's got his Dunedain captains here, so it's elite versus elite here, although it's still with the Gwaithei Marine Dame. Now, as you can see, my Grey Whites, I'm just trying to reinforce my ally here and try and keep his troops alive and protected. Because I want to try and get to my ally before he's defeated. I don't think he's. I don't know exactly. Best of his train of thought here. What I was trying to say was, I wanted to get to my ally as soon as possible. I didn't want to arrive too late. The Flatbed Warhammers against the Gwaithei Arthane. And the Gwaithei track is still shooting at Icelander's troops in the distance there. And it looks like Icelander might have finally run out of arrows. But it looks like Carlin still has plenty of arrows. You can hear sharpshooters are here, but they have their maces out. Silver Banshees attacking the Mantarum Gatekeepers from the rear, and Mados from the other side. pretty smart from both players. That way they avoid killing each other. And this part was just aggravating. So eventually ran away, wanting to preserve his troops for later. But as you can see, I'm not going to let him. I was charging my army straight after him at this point. I'm kind of hoping my troops can help my Barrow Whites will try and do their job and keep my ally alive. He's doing a great job without my army anyway, so I figured he'd be alright, so I just sent my troops after Merkel to try and finish him off. And that becomes quite the marathon. We'll come back for that. Archers of Rivendell broke. As you can, I think I took out the Merkel general there. I don't think I lost my general. I can't recall. But as you can see, I've got like 100 Barrow Whites here. 107, 112, so yeah, 200 troops here. And Barrow Whites are notoriously hard to kill. And there's a crossbow bolts there coming in. So it looks like, yeah, Amar's firing his crossbows in, so he's still got some arrows left, some archers left, sorry, my bad. Lattice is not going away here. He's winning over here as well. But I divide my forces here. Because my pikemen aren't really that good at running after men, I've got my Witron Blackguard and my Guardians of Carandum chasing after Mirkwood's troops, as you can see. So I send my pikes over to help out your ranger. My Barrow Whites are still keeping Lattice busy. Your ranger's still got his crossbows, he's still firing. Let's just go in with a nice close-up shot. Oh, they're shooting over their heads. Okay, they're going after the Great Arthane. Carlin trying to get some nice revenge there. Archer's Rivendell broken. Ranger still has archers all over the place. My pikemen and then what's left of my hammer guards moving in. Okay, have I caught him yet? Yes, I finally caught up with him. My other unit of Guardians of Carandum's moving in, as well as my Richon Blackguard. And still eventually makes you stand here. As you can see, got troops converging from all around. Just trying to find my general. There he is, late to the battle. Okay, my pikeman took out the Lattice general.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
My pikemen are under fire. But we broke the Lattice sentries. And now just manoeuvring troops in to try and finish off the Great Arthane. We've got Mirkwood beaten. So now we'll actually times 6 speed it, I think. So surrounding ladder is there. As you can see, we're finishing off the troops here as well. I think he missed the feet there. He's just got the crossbows left. And that was it.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
And that is it. So I hope you hopefully enjoyed that free-for-all. I got 1,059 kills, my ally got 971. Amar of TF got 1,147. Player with the most kills was Aslander on 1582. Silver Banshee, 940. Looking at the kill count, my Witches of Angmar got 263. Trolls of Angmar, 125. Browweiss didn't get too many kills, but that's not what I brought them for anyway. Usually you bring Browweiss to act as a buffer or a shield for the other units that don't have pikes or are vulnerable to cav charges. Or even infantry charges. And the rest of my units did average to good. Well, poor to good, I'd say. And that is it. So, hopefully you enjoyed that free-for-all. Thank you to all players. Everyone did pretty well. Silver Banshee did very well, facing off against 4 players. Yeah, our little plan there to take him on was a bit sneaky, but that's what most players do anyway. They always break off to try and face off the opponent that's the strongest at a certain point. So that's why that happened. Appreciate Amar and Aslander for honouring the alliance, and obviously we're grateful they honoured it as well. This is Scouts of Entertainment signing off. Catch you guys next time. Bye.